Hey folks, this is the mysterious JG,
And I'm Zerfall.
and we've been fighting some serious technical issues to try to bring you, uh, not the least of which is just Google Plus in general. But yeah, we're ready to take another crack at the Mammoth, and when I say another crack, I mean I actually recorded this, and we're gonna do post commentary, so you can guess how it
What?
probably comes out. But but there you were
I
gonna
thought
be
this was live.
well, they were gonna be able to figure this out. Yeah. Oh. Hello, I didn't know that you were watching me record on the YouTubes. No, but you guys would have probably been able to figure out that it isn't live by the fact that it's going to be like triple speed or so because okay, I'm looking. They can't see how long this is. Oh, they'll be able to tell on YouTube, but not on my actual VLC media window here. So anyway, uh, so we're gonna just kind of go through and beat up the Mammoth and Zerfall and I are going to bitch about how much we hate Google Plus. Or,
Oh
whatever.
my god, it's the worst.
We just had this nightmare scenario. Now, we had all sorts of problems with Skype. We had all sorts of problems with the generally free and awesome, I must say, net meeting application that we use. It's not actually called net meeting. Maybe we could plug that. TeamViewer is the name of the free thing that we use. And it's been working pretty good. You're allowed to use it for free if you're just using it for private use, so that's pretty cool, and it's been working really well. Although tonight we had problems, but Google Plus driving us up the wall. We should also probably talk a little bit about what's happening on camera. So
Yes.
this is the
So you've got a poison field there.
this is the Mammoth. I'm essentially following the strategy from the only really like in any way complete fact for this game that I've been able to find in English, and as you can see, the strategy that you're supposed to use ain't working that good. We're having the same problems we did last night. Or not last night, but the last time we did this. You throw down poison, he just changes the whole field to fire. Gobi seems to miss constantly. And Gory, sorry, not Gobi, Gory really can't do enough damage to be worthwhile at all. And our main guy, whose name I keep forgetting, Pogo, keeps missing, and yeah, it's frustrating, but not as frustrating as Google Plus. Well,
I feel like everybody that's on YouTube now is going to be able to use that as a thing, like to keep themselves from being too annoyed. Whenever something goes really bad, they're like, "Oh, at least it's not Google Plus."
pretty much, yeah. Well, we had this whole issue for I was actually last night also. I'm not somebody who hangs out on Skype like ever. And when we were recording this stuff together before, Zerfall would send me a message on YouTube and tell me, "Hey, would you like to get together and do something at this time?" And I'd be like, "Oh, cool, yeah." And I would get on Skype and we would do it. I had to lurk around on Skype for the past few days waiting for Zerfall to show up because I didn't at that point actually have your real world email, and I didn't have the. It's not only that messaging through YouTube's gone. It's like fine, they got rid of it, they replaced it with something else. I don't see that there's any way to go back and access your messages that you had. I don't know.
Yeah, everything. They kind of buried everything. Every once in a while, I stumble upon a way of finding old things, but you normally, even if you can find them, you're not allowed to do anything with them anymore.
I feel like you're not supposed to
So
have
it's
been able
like
to
they
find them.
have a hidden link somewhere.
Well, I mean, it's all still there. Probably because the NSA wants it, but you have no right to complain. The NSA is entitled to your information, sir. While you're Canadian, but I am supposed to have rights.
Well, I understand. Yeah, no, from what I understand, aren't they originally they were supposed to be spying on everybody else?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. The
And
NSA has
not- and not-
apologized to American citizens for spying on them, but the more general, hey, you're spying on your allies, they're like, well, that was our job. We're supposed to be spying on them. We can't apologize for everything.
Yeah.
It's all right, spying on Americans. Okay, yeah, maybe.
I mean, Canada's just like that too. We had those
Wait, you guys have
poppy
spies?
coins a while back. Well, we had these quarters that had poppies on them, and there was apparently a
And they had,
memo from the U.S. government, like, "Hey, we found your pop." Like, some diplomat was in Canada and went and bought a copy or something and got some change,
with
and somebody seriously thought that the quarter was like, so they were ones made for Remembrance Day with the poppy on them.
Right.
But what they do is they texture the coin in the center in a little circle and then print this poppy on it. And someone looked at it under a microscope and decided they thought it was like circuitry or something. So they
Canadian
thought that Canada
spy
was trying to
coins.
spy on them
Canadian spy coins.
through quarters.
I'm sure that Canada does spy. I mean,
And
I
there's
was
this thing. All our money's coins.
well, I was joking, like, Canada has spies? Oh my god, I thought all you guys had were moose. You know. But yeah, no, obviously Canada has an intelligence service like anyone else, but I am a little puzzled by the idea that they would have spy quarters. That's pretty awesome. I read an article once online, the BBC had carried it. This is a fairly recent happenstance where Iran had arrested, and like, it's always annoying because when you get this sort of a news of the weird moment like this, I'm gonna turn down the sound on this. You get like a news of the weird thing. Sometimes the news coverage will try to be cute when it's like really the funniest thing they could do is just give you a totally straight, description of what the story is. But they try to be cutesy with it. But what had happened was that there were squirrels in Iran, wild squirrels, who live in an area where the Iranian nuclear program had some stuff going on. And somebody had decided that the squirrels had been outfitted by the Americans with like some kind of surveillance gear. So essentially, there was an Iranian general who had made some comment in the state media, and nobody really knows if this really happened or if it's just this general who's like off his frickin' rocker saying something in Iranian media. But there is a report in Iranian media that they had apprehended squirrels who had been outfitted with surveillance equipment by the U.S. government. Or it might have been Israel, but either way, it was like definitely some kind of like Western plot to use squirrels to spy on Iran, and they had like a whole series of other articles and stuff. But I was like, man, I kind of wish that were true. I don't believe that's true. It'd be pretty cool if it was though, because then it would be such a perfect setup. Because if they find it and they catch it and stop it, nobody will believe them anyway. So it's not, you can't really stick the Americans on that.
Yeah.
There was this sort of semi-famous
It's like the old
yeah.
the Bill Murray story where somebody met Bill Murray at a fast food restaurant and he went up to them and was like, "No one's gonna believe you," and then walked off. And it's true, no one does believe them.
That he met Bill Murray? Or because see,
Yeah.
I would believe.
No, I met Bill Murray at the Burger King or whatever, and they're like, "What? What did he say?" He said no one would believe me.
See, now I could potentially believe that now if Bill Murray had supposedly said, "Oh no, Kobe died and we ignored it." If Bill Murray told you that,
So
if
did you
Bill Murray
manage
was
to pull this off
spying
with just
on
the
you,
one guy?
well, you're gonna have to watch and see Zerfall. We could be doing post commentary on a failure video, and I'm trying
it's
to.
as tense for me as it is for the viewers at home.
I'm trying to make it surprising, yeah.
Oh man.
Up to this point, I will have you know there's been no save state use. But I say up to this point for a reason. Once I got to the half-hour mark in the non-sped up video, I was like, I am not fucking losing this. I am not losing. I have been at this for half a fucking hour now. I am not going back and starting over again. Fuck this. So, yeah,
That's fair enough.
There's some save states in this. But I'm still not giving away whether I actually save stated to the point where I got it unwinnable or if I actually won. So. But you see, we're doing about 70 damage a pop with that attack that has a chance of paralyzing. But in order to land that attack, you have to be in range for his, like, thing where he turns just the field, like, one kind of unit of measure around himself into lava field. And that attack does more damage than anything else. And he's got the Great Eruption attack, which turns the whole field to lava. That does less damage, but still does a lot. And he's got he's got a few, like, he's got some much wimpier techniques, like that trunk attack thing I try to position myself for.
It seems like you kind of got, yeah, it seems like you kind of got messed around with those because he slowly worked his way to the bottom of the screen, and now you can't get to that bottom right corner where he does the whip.
Yeah. Well, the whip attack I think I eventually just realized that it doesn't have to be underneath him. You can get him to do that if you're at the proper diagonal to him, but really, if you get the paralysis thing to work, you just really want to stay there and keep hitting him. Because I don't really understand exactly how the turn system in this game works, but moving definitely takes up some of your, like, if it's like Final Fantasy Tactics where there's like, sort of time points or whatever that click past to sort of determine whose turn it is next. Definitely moving up and down, even if you don't execute a move like an attack or use an item, that definitely hastens the end of your turn. And the paralysis just seems to knock back the beginning of that thing's turn. So if you paralyze it and then you start running around, it's not like it gets unparalyzed and you attack it. It gets unparalyzed after a certain length of time. So I always, if I get that paralysis to land, I'm always like, just keep doing it, keep doing it. But as you can see, I'm using meaty bones like some bitch. Because they...
Well, I mean, they must be helping too, because you're getting your IQ and level up.
But I don't know if that really again, it's like you can kind of guess at what's happening with the iconography in the game, but like, is your level really going up, or does it go up for just the next turn and then it resets? Or I don't know, because I definitely didn't feel like by the end of it my level was like quadruple what it started out as.
Mm-hmm.
The tactical game begins. This is far more involved than Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11. I mean, Zhuge Liang would definitely be able to defeat this man.
I think this is the
toughest boss.
This is one of the few stages where there's actually a lot of fighting in it too.
That's true. There's a couple of stages with a lot of... Well, there's like a total of 7 stages. I think this and the ninja one have... The ninja one, you have the option of avoiding all the battles, but there's a lot of battles there to be fought if you want. But yeah, most of them are not combat heavy.
But isn't it... Don't you get a better reward or something at the end?
I suppose as a special reward for anybody who's willing to sit through the post-commentary, we can spoil the ninja stage a little. What I read was that you get a better weapon. It's just a weapon. You get like an equipable weapon if you win the stage without fighting anybody who isn't necessary. And by that I mean, like, if you get to the last boss with no kills, then you've successfully evaded everyone, and you get a better weapon drop at the end of the chapter. But you get a weapon drop at the end of the chapter regardless. It's just not quite as good. And apparently there is a better weapon to be found in the mysterious, we're not going to talk about it, like, after you beat all the chapters, there's more stuff to come. And apparently you can get an even better weapon during that. So it's like...
What?
Yeah. It sounds like it's more of a
So you might as well get
bragging
the
rights
experience
thing.
points from killing people?
Yeah, it sounds like it's more of a bragging rights thing. I'll tell you that playing around with it off screen, I think if I was sitting there with the fact, step by step, following this guy's fact, I'm sure I could do it. But by myself, I kept running into stuff. I was like, how the hell are you supposed to avoid combat here? Am I not supposed to be here yet? I never actually went through without killing anybody.
The thing is, we're gonna have to also decide what scenario we're gonna do next.
Well, we talked about just doing it in sequence of just in terms of time, because this is the earliest one, and moving, or we could go from this one then to the far future one and kind of move towards whatever one is centrally located timeline wise. I guess it's your call, because the next sequence you'll be playing, if we go in terms of like chronological order, I think you end up playing as, I think the ninja thing must be next, isn't it? And we also talked about how they are all on like a little daisy chain together. It could be like you start in the top left corner with Flash Man, and then you go down to Bubble Man, and then you go down to Metal Man, and then you go right to... Yeah, I mean, we could do it that way. And I think if we just start going counterclockwise, I think Cowboy is next.
It seems like that, the spinny circle, yeah.
I don't really...
Because it's weird, you'd think that they would put them in the order that they wanted you to play them in.
But that's the whole thing, Zerfall. It's live alive. You have the freedom. I mean, it's up to you. What
I have to live for
excites you?
myself and decide what I want to do with the future.
It's what moves you? Cowboy? Caveman? Mecha? There's so many choices. You
Wrestler?
must choose what life to live.
It's funny, because so I've played this game in the past, but I never beat it back when I played it before. I think I started playing sci-fi, and I think I might have gotten. I think that's one of the ones that there's no combat in, and I kind of just, as a younger person, was like, "What? No combat? Whatever."
I remember liking sci-fi precisely because it was like, oh, this is a little different. Yep, here we go. Yeah, I'm at about 28:39.
Save state start.
Because this must be going at double speed because I'm at, or close to double speed because I'm at just about 30 minutes on the counter that I can see underneath where I cut off the recording window. So, folks, we spared you about 15 minutes worth of this. But no, this is just. I don't think it was taking this long because we had our failure video. Maybe we weren't as close to winning as I thought we were. And a secret insider knowledge, folks. Zerfall's lovely wife and his mother-in-law were apparently shooting him dirty looks as we went into like hour 2 of him on headphones talking to some guy on the internet about, and like not even playing, watching and commenting on somebody else trying to defeat a mammoth in an old Super Famicom game. So yeah.
Yep. But in the long run, it all worked out, and the chicken was cooked perfectly.
Oh,
so
that's good. That's
good. Because it was still in the oven when I got out there.
I think it was probably.
Like, we need you to like. They were like, we thought you were, because I originally put the chicken in. They're like, we thought you were cooking this chicken. And so it turns out that the chicken was bigger than we expected.
Oh.
And so it worked out with the recipe that the extra time actually made sure the chicken was cooked.
Well, that's good. And I think it was probably just as well that a reason came along to just stop the fucking mammoth fight because it wasn't going anywhere good. Oh, but now the problem with speeding it up here is there have been some really.
I don't think we were on the road to success with that one.
If you're paying close attention, there's been some really tense moments here. At this point, I have yet to fail, have I? But
where you almost lose it and you have to.
The save states are in effect, folks. I had some
as soon
really
as the save states come out, though, there's not some real tense moments because.
Well, I know.
If you die, you can just load that state.
I know what you mean. Because that's one of the things. Somebody directed me to a video of like how not to LP that mentioned that, and since then I've seen 1 or 2 LPs where somebody is like, just kind of going along talking about how awesome they are, and then getting to a boss battle, typically in a game that isn't that hard. And then they start doing save state abuse like during the fight, kind of the same way I did against Dracula in Castlevania, except with no like, oh god, I gotta finish this. I'm sorry, I know this is lame, but like no, that's just how they do it, like every single time. Beaten, and Gobi laughs at us. Fuck you, Gobi. You'd been dead for almost an hour at that point. So yes, tension thwarted. Obviously, I'm going to continue loading save states until I win. Unless... ...
Oh, God.
Did you see that?
It's funny, though, because it seems like at least you're trying to... You're not just every single turn save stating and going, did he get paralyzed? Nope, let's reload that.
Well, I'm trying... Because this is something we learned in Dynasty Warriors 5. Like, if you save state constantly, then you end up getting yourself in a spot where you're like, oh, oops, I just save stated to where I can no longer recover.
Really shouldn't have saved that.
Shouldn't have saved that.
Yeah, I've got a memory from when we first started playing Space Quest 3. We got to the not 3, 4. And we get to the part where you get the time machine for the first time. We were just trying random codes to see if we could find some stuff, and they have some Easter egg time zones you can get to, and one of them is Space Quest 3. But your time pod shows up on the planet that's all lava, and because you don't have the thermal underpants that you have from the original game to protect you from the lava, when you jump out, you melt, right? So I clicked the exit button to see what was going on the outside, and I was like, oh crap, something bad might happen. So I stopped and I saved it, so I have time to react to whatever happened. Well, what happens is you hop out and you melt right away. So my only save game for the game, my first playthrough, was saved over with I'm jumping out and landing on lava and dying, and if I load the game, I jump out and land on lava and die.
Yeah, not that useful. So those paying...
So it's been happening for years.
Those paying very close attention to this battle will notice I've been trying different techniques because I'm figuring, all right, this fucking 70 hit points a pop thing just isn't doing it. So I've been going with the toughest attack he has, which is Dode Gedson something else. which is not mentioned as something you should try in the FAQ I read. And I seem to recall that there was a reason I'd figured out before, but now I was like, what the hell, I'll use it. And it does, like, way more damage, but it lowers your stats. So I was trying to, like, I had a run where I hit it, and then I couldn't hit it anymore, probably because I lowered my agility too much. But it seems to wear off after
and you're all out of...
We're out of the super...
That's probably the same as meaty bones.
All we have are meaty bones, yeah. So that was the thing. Now I've got different strategies to play with. Like, should I alternate between that attack and then use a meaty bone and then use that attack? It's a strategic game, folks. It's like Zhuge Liang versus a mammoth. You know, there's so much intense mental cognition happening here. I don't know. I'm just gonna be really fucking glad to have the Caveman chapter over with. That's all I can say. I really enjoyed this chapter, but I'm kind of thinking we should have just forgot about the damn mammoth.
Oh, was there something there? Sorry we missed it, folks.
No, I didn't know there was that. Well, how many people were going to be able to call us out on not doing the mammoth? Like, we didn't say anything. Nobody's going to know. I mean, actually, that's the funny thing that the first video of the LP always gets the most comments, likes, and views, and that's cool. You know, so people are watching now who may or may not watch all the way through. That's cool. But all of the comments in the first video were like, "Oh, I'm so glad you did this game. This game is so obscure. I would never play this game myself." Or, "Oh, I'm so glad you did this game. I tried to play this game once on an emulator and I just couldn't get interested. So now I can see what this game is like without playing it for myself." And I was like, "Huh,
I can see what's actually gonna happen.
I can see what's going to happen without wasting my time in this game, which is obviously crappy." Or, you know, that's just my reading of it. But because I actually did play this game through all the way to the end before this. But yeah, apparently it's really not that many people have checked it out. And like when you said you had played it,
it's a really interesting game and everything, but sometimes you hit a scenario that just doesn't
do anything for you.
It rubs you the wrong way, I guess, and you're just like, oh well. And then you've got to get through that scenario to keep going, so you just end up stopping.
Well, somebody mentioned they didn't like the ninja scenario. I think did you say you didn't like the cowboy scenario or something? Somebody mentioned the cowboy scenario as being like...
No, mine was sci-fi. I stopped on. Someone did. Right. I actually have the comments open here.
Oh, awesome. Well, we're getting pretty close here. I only get beaten so many times.
Ezri Lanza?
Ezri Dax, the replacement for Jadzia? No, sorry, go ahead. That was 600 plus damage. It has to be over soon. There's 665 damage. That was almost the number of the beast there. Which is why I'm not willing to load state even when I got, like, less than 100 hit points. I'm like, I did almost 700 damage in an attack. I don't know if you want to call that a critical hit or what, but damn it, this has to be over soon. Die, you bastard.
You're like in the desperation attacks now.
It's like in Final Fantasy VI, there are tactics that are built around critical hits with no health left. Right on!
Right on!
We've done it, King's Fang! Woo! And for some reason I save stated on that. And I think I save stated over the save where I could actually fight the battle. Because I'm like, if something happens and this video is gone, I'll be like, oh, damn, sorry, couldn't show you. Didn't work. My bad. So there we go. That wasn't... On triple speed, that wasn't too bad. But here's the wonderful world of Google+, which I really hate. I can't tell...
It's yelling about your banner there. It looks too default.
Well, this is my... Yeah, no, I never did anything with this. And now, I you know, if like... Should I feel bad about the fact that I never updated my YouTube banner? Well, apparently the YouTube page is now like this kind of second-class citizen because it's supposed to be all about the Google+. I mean... Check this shit out. Here's the video where Grimmeth talks about how shitty Google Plus is. We wouldn't have that if it weren't for Google Plus. I wouldn't have had to reset up my avatar because somebody pointed out to me that it was gone, and I was like, it's gone? When the fuck did that happen? Who told me it was gone?
Yeah.
Who told me it was gone? I will give them props.
My thing is that you'd think that when they're gonna move this over,
Ryan Applegon told me it was gone. Sorry, go ahead.
You'd think that when they were going to move this over, they'd set it up so like, oh yeah, so when you set up that page, it's just going to take your YouTube settings and put them on the page. Everybody's doing it, so we might as well make that work. But no, they flipped it all out.
I don't get the whole. Why are they trying to be more like Facebook? I thought Facebook was like with the younger people than
Waning?
myself. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was seriously waning. That's what I'd heard. Like I was never hugely into it one way or the other. But what I keep hearing is that it's like it's waning. It's going to be MySpace in a couple of years.
Well, I think that the Western world has a really aging population, right? Adults are getting older and older, and
Right.
they've got farms that need to be villed. So the easiest way to do that is on Facebook for them. Oh, and then they can paste like weird messages to their kids on their walls. So it's fun for them.
Well, I guess clearly yeah, I mean, it sounds cruel, but I think when people's parents and grandparents started popping up on Facebook, that really kind of affected what the kids could put on the Facebooks, you know. It's like, can I have a separate Facebook page where only my friends my own age see it, and I could put all the pictures of me, like, you know, totally high or drunk and puking my guts out or whatever. So here's the guy who keeps...
So that only your friends and former and future employers could find those pictures, but your parents would be oblivious.
I was about to go off on this whole thing. I was in quality training related to my work the other day, and it's like a whole fucking afternoon talking about these are the baby boomers, and these are the Gen X, and these are millennials, and these are the different ways that they approach things. And when talking to millennials and you're in a sort of supervisory, advisory role, need to make sure that you say 3 things positive for every negative thing you say to them, or you'll turn them off and they will stop being receptive. I'm just like, you know, fucking it's not nothing against the young folks, but I'm like, no, that's not useful. Anyway. But no, the Facebooks and the MySpace, I don't get it. And the Google Plus, I just want my, you know, jitterbug phone, which is not something that they have. that's engineered for old people, but it's not actually something that, like, you know, they used to have around. So what the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, there you go, folks. So we got just about 30 minutes worth of content out of the Mammoth battle. You can run it.
And it's perfect because
run
this
at full speed, and it's like interminable. It's about 45 minutes long at full speed, and that was with save states. If I had not used save states, I would have had to be even more. I would have had to be more conservative, and it. Wow. Yeah.
It's perfect that we had this little Google Plus rant at the end here, though, because now people will never know exactly when that battle ends.
Well.
And if they skip to the end, they don't get to find out because there's other footage here.
That's true. We should keep this going for another 20. Or we can do that what Grimmeth did in the video recently. I didn't mean to not drop his name twice in one video, but he did this like prank thing where he recorded some game other than what we thought he was going to record, but he just looped the same footage 3 times. And I was like, that's seems like it's a lot of work to go to fool people. I mean, just anyway, dearie me. So I could keep talking about other stuff. Here's the guy who. Now, it's only 3 comments in a row this time, which is nice, because if I go down, I had like fucking 20 comments in a row asking for more Mass Effect. And this is, of course, the video that I was uploading a half an hour.
I actually almost posted...
More Mass Effect?
I almost posted on your wall earlier that was just like, oh, more Mass Effect?
Oh, this guy mentions more... He wanted more Metal Gear, too. That's nice. But, no, this is like... This seriously makes me never want to play Mass Effect 2. Because, like, I was doing a half an hour video a day every day, and I think the drop-off I saw in viewership on that LP was, like, a new record, because I think people were just like, I can't fucking give a half an hour of every single day of my life to Mass Effect. And people have that weird thing where, like, if they're not watching it when it's current, they don't want to watch it at all. So I was like, if I do Mass Effect 2, I better not do a video.
Well, because they want to be able to comment, and yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I think I shouldn't do a video a day. I think that was turning people off. But no, not this guy, apparently. If I can convince myself that each of these Elliot Cottinghams is a different person, then I got a legion of fans. They want the Mass Effects. And then meanwhile, I head over towards your channel. Can I even figure out how to get to your channel now. I can do it. I can get to your YouTube page. I don't know how to get to your Google Plus page. This will be a chance to educate you folks again. The next video in this series, folks, is not going to be on my channel. If we're doing it the way that we planned on doing it, I assume we're still going with the plan that I'll make a playlist. You'll have a playlist, but next time, folks, you're going to need to head for Zerfall's channel for the next exciting adventure in the series. And what's that going to be, Zerfall? What's the next video?
I'm on the spot now.
Do you want to figure it out now, or do you want to make it like a attention hook thing? I can refresh your memory here. Now I do want to like just chat for an extra, just to fool people into thinking this will take. It's just stupid. Okay, so we'll wrap it up here in a second.
Yeah, I know it'll be good to see what order they're.
This is not sized for this right now, but we can do live. This is the actual save state slot that you'll be using. Pogo's
No,
Quest.
the save state slot you sent me was 001, so I have to die to get back. Yeah, you might want to.
Well, maybe
you might want to resend that, because if you look,
001.
001 is slot 2. If you load slot 1 again, it'll say, see?
Is that the one you got? Well, that's not what I meant to send you. I'll have to rectify that off screen. Anyway, because if I rectify it on screen, then both of us end up having our email information all over the interwebs. Okay, so this is the slot that we actually should have sent Zerfall. There's so much to do. It's no longer Caveman. Now it's Pogo, because we've learned enough about Pogo that we're not on a first-name basis with him. But these other strangers we don't know quite so well. Will we become associates of Mecha, Ninja, Kung Fu, Sci-Fi? Kung Fu, one word. Sci-Fi hyphen lowercase f. I don't know. Wrestler. Cowboy. It's a lot of choices here. Do you want to leave the folks in suspense?
There was someone that commented.
Wanted kid.
Do you know what? Why don't we make it be... Okay, and then that's where you just cut the video.
Well, now you're going to make me work. All right. I tell you what. No, we're actually going to do it for real. Next time, folks, it's going to be